So let's recap the week real quick. So far this week, we've had Davos. A lot of big things have happened at Davos. We had a band of hooligans and miscreants attack a church in Minnesota under the means of social justice, including Don Lemon, a guy who's trying his very best to remain relevant. And now he, ironically, is a black guy who might get arrested on a KKK law, which I think is absolutely hilarious.
That he committed on Martin Luther King Day. Yeah, I know. It's like the trifecta.
I was watching that the other day. Don Lemon's shark. Did you see that? The other guy that got arrested. Apparently, he was like this granola eating loser is the type of guy that like
the Trump guy that said, "Bondi, come get me."
And the one who's getting in kids' faces and stuff like that, and intimidating them, all that stuff. Well, didn't he I didn't see he got arrested and he was crying and all that kind of stuff.
I didn't see the crying. I haven't seen that video. I'd love to see it. Even if it's AI, I'd love to see it, but I don't know. All I know is he got arrested. But I saw Bondi's post. She posted the video of him saying, "Come get me." She's like, "Okay." And she went and got him. So good for you, Bondi.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing is that's once again, that's this messaging that's out there. Did you see that idiot a couple weeks ago, the sheriff from Philadelphia, who was like, "ICE, let me tell you something. You can't say her name. Her name is Renee Good," and all that kind of stuff. And then ICE actually responded with like, "Hey, you go ahead and try and stop us." Do you see that? You know?
The better was the Philadelphia Police Department's response of outlining how the Philadelphia Police Department is not the sheriff's department and they don't have anything to do with each other. I liked that. That made me very happy about Philadelphia because there's a lot to be upset about in Philadelphia.
So that reminds me of one of the funniest things ever. One of the funniest things ever is around a dramatic thing, right? So Katrina happens, right? And then there's this thing and Kanye goes off. And in the middle of Kanye going off, unscripted, he goes, "George Bush hates black people," right? Or George Bush doesn't care about black people. Here's the thing, right? Now George Bush said that was the toughest thing of his as a president. That was the toughest thing for him to swallow. But what's hilarious about it, if you watch that video, next to him is Mike Myers. Mike Myers, like Austin Powers. You can't see a guy who could possibly just want to be out of the scene as quick. Like the Philadelphia cops, as this sheriff is like, "Let me tell you something, ICE," and the Philadelphia cops are just kind of like Mike Myers. Just...
So
here's the thing: is that woman is a victim of messaging. She's an idiot who's a victim of messaging. She's an idiot who's a victim of messaging. And I just heard that the DA in Minnesota just was talking about how, or no, I think it was Arizona that was talking about your stand your ground laws would provide justification for people shooting ICE agents as they're coming into their house.
Yeah, no, I just saw something else about how they're rising up in Minnesota and getting louder. If you were we spent a lot of time talking about Minnesota, and this is clearly going to be a hodgepodge episode. So just a tiny bit on Minnesota. They're trying to get Trump to invoke the Insurrection Act. There's no other explanation. They want him to do it, which I want him to do it too at this point. I'm tired. I mean, people have to be tired of, "Oh, let's burn the city down. Oh, let's stop everybody that doesn't want to protest from going to work." There has to be an end to this. It doesn't serve any purpose except to piss people off. What's it going to do? Stop Trump from winning in Greenland? There's that. Yeah, that's another topic. But what's it going to stop? What's it going to do? These people are still illegal. They're still going to get out. And just because they're not giving Tom Homan a medal this time because it's not Barack Obama doesn't mean that he's not going to go do his job. You're really going to stop Homan? People forget that he was the director under Obama as well. So the stats don't lie out. Like when we say like, "Oh, Obama deported more people," we really shouldn't be making that argument because the deportations really are completely different. Most of his deportations happened, well, not most of, but a significant amount of them happened with people self-deporting. It happened with like the people that come and get turned away at the border. So those get tracked. So those numbers are on Obama's record. And notice that there are none of those on Trump's record because the border is closed. There's no turnarounds because no one's getting in.
Did you happen
So
to see the
all
CNN clip of that was following ICE agents doing raids under the Obama
I
administration?
love that. Yeah. It
Hmm.
just outlined that. I think I sent you that outlines the point of, well, why was it okay then? Why is it not okay now? And CNN is perfect that it's them because it's really the presentation. And who's doing the presentation? People like CNN. So
Hmm.
once again,
Hmm.
do you like Trump? It's good. You hate Trump? It's bad. Doesn't matter what it is.
See, this caters to what we're talking about in this crazy world that we live in. Is a lot of people operate based upon what they're being told right now. They're being
Yeah.
told they're operating based on what they're being told right now, and the news is designed. And I know I sound like a one trick pony saying this all the time, but from this perspective, they'll say like this: "Oh, that was debunked." Oh, that was debunked. Once you throw debunked in there, people who are looking for an excuse to get rid of something, they just need to find they might as well go to tell me that
Yeah.
this was debunked.com because they'll get any Tom, Dick, and Harry to tell them that it was debunked so that they can say it was debunked. Why? Because they haven't done enough work to find out whether it's true or not. And
Right. I
that's
just
what
had
these
that
bad guys do.
Right. I just had a conversation with somebody about the 2020 election and they used the word debunked. It's like, oh, that's been debunked. There was nothing on them. Like, it wasn't debunked. It was never even adjudicated. Every court case was thrown out on something, some procedural thing like standing or whatever. So the evidence was never heard on its merit. So that's not debunked. But if they want to call it debunked, then, oh, they're fine. They can just wash their hands of it.
And this wraps nicely back into what we're talking about is that once again, a lot of times the news cycle is designed to take your focus away from other things that are going on. So now, did you see the little dust up between Michael Fanone and Ivan Raiklin yesterday?
Yeah, I can't stand that dude. Fanone. I mean, like, when I saw him during the January 6th hearings,
Hmm.
um, and I just kind of he seems so fake. Really, that guy's crying about stuff, and now I don't know what happened to provoke him, but that dude is way too big for his britches. Fanone. Like,
Well,
did you see
Fanone
him?
is
Did
a
you see?
clickbait guy.
Definitely. Did you see his
Hmm.
like coughing bullshit or whatever he said about when the because they're having the official proceeding, he's not even up like giving testimony, and he's like bullshit. Grow
Yeah, who are they
the fuck up.
investigating? Who are they investigating? They're investigating Jack Smith. They're
Yeah.
investigating Jack Smith. Jack Smith, who was the special investigator who was investigating Trump, right? He's a special investigator who's investigating Trump. He's a special investigator because he is an inspector general who's part of this group, SIGI. And when you talk about things like the 2020 election and how things get held up, and then they
Hmm.
disappear. It got debunked because it didn't get prosecuted. That's because it gets to the inspector general's office and it dies there. That's
Right.
part of the way when you talk about how these things work is that somewhere along the line there has to be a cog in the wheel to throw things up, and the inspector general's office is one of those places where their crimes go to die, like Operation Fast and Furious in 2020, which is not over yet.
Yeah. So we got all that going on, and in the meantime, my favorite thing that's happened this week is definitely Greenland. Like, so I told you I had a conversation with a friend of mine who's on the other end of the political spectrum, and we were clearing the air between us, which is great, because I still want to be friends with the person. And of course they're like, what is it, he's really going to invade Greenland and all this other stuff? I'm like, he's not going to invade Greenland, and look what happened. He didn't invade Greenland, and instead he got literally everything he wants for free. How do you not praise this? I mean, like, it's a huge win. It's absolutely a huge win, and like, where's that success all over the news? Nowhere.
You're never going to see those successes because they can't tout those successes, especially in an election year. But here's the deal: I was at the, excuse me,
Every
I
year's
was
an
at the.
election year now.
I know. But this is an important midterm. This is a very, very
Yeah,
important
yeah, yeah.
midterm.
I know.
But anyway, point is that I was at Lincoln Financial Field watching the Eagles get their butt kicked by the San Francisco 49ers with the equivalent of the entire population of Greenland 2 weeks ago.
Mm.
The Eagles draw more than the entire population of Greenland every
I
week
know.
at the Lincoln Financial Field. So, from a population perspective, I heard somebody say we could give them $1 million each, and it would still be billions of dollars less than that Minneapolis fraud. And just be like, hey, everybody
Yeah,
in Greenland, you're a millionaire now. You want to be American? They'd be like, I don't even know how they talk. They'd be like, oh, yeah, hey, sure. That's what they would do.
right.
But it's strategically important. It's strategically important. And the thing that people aren't paying attention to is that there's a realignment of the globe. I'm
Oh
not saying
yeah.
that countries are moving. I'm not saying that Pangea has happened again. What I'm saying is that people that used to be allies or people who appeared to be allies who were maybe just siphons are now being knocked off like leeches, and it's an issue. It's an issue. American independence, Western, true West, not West being America and Europe and France and Germany and all. No, 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 no. North
Mhm.
America, South America, all that kind of up there. The
Yeah.
West protecting ourselves.
Right. Well, it's funny you said all that because the argument that gets made is like, oh, we're aggressors, we look like bullies, and we're destroying all our alliances, our historic alliances. Right. Well, our historic alliance, you talk about NATO and the EU, particularly. Yes, the word siphon is accurate. All they've done is take, 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 take. I've been hearing so much stuff about Denmark. Oh, they are supposed to do X, Y, and Z after we voluntarily gave them Greenland back. We had control of Greenland during World War II. We handed it back to them, and they were supposed to I forget what they were supposed to invest in protecting that land, and since then they've only invested 1% of what they promised, and which seems to be the theme from Europe and NATO, where they say they're going to do this much and then they do this much while we do that much. And we're tired of it. We're tired of being taken advantage of. So like the arguments that we've thrown the first stone, like, no, we're tired of the stones being thrown at us. So,
Mhm.
and look what happened in the end. I mean, it's typical Donald Trump stuff. He said, oh, I'm going to take this. We want this. We want that. He's been goading them over Greenland for like what, 12, so take 10 months just to be arguing, at least 10 months. He's been goading them over Greenland. And instead, not only did we not make enemies of them, they think they got a deal. We got everything we want. They're still paying for it. Denmark is to think like, oh yeah, we're still great and we control Greenland when they don't. And everybody wants to be Donnie's friend at Davos.
Let's talk about it for a sec. Let's talk about it for a sec. In this particular situation, he wasn't President Trump. In this particular situation, he was Don Trump. He was like sitting there, he was like, Greenland,
Come on.
Greenland is going to join us. And if they decide, what did he say? And if they decide to disagree with us, we won't forget. And that's what he said. I was like, wow, that is like some cold Don Corleone stuff. He said, he was like, hey,
Yeah.
you guys, I'm gonna need you to fall in line or we're not going to forget. Meanwhile, a week and a half ago, this guy was like, dude, look, all I'm saying is that there was just and people were vomiting blood because Americans were crazy. And a
Oh,
week
that.
later, Trump's like, Greenland will agree to or we won't forget. Fast forward,
Right.
dude, it was like insane. It was like it's cocky in those drones. Ah! Oh, you agree, Greenland? You agree?
Right. So, well, it's funny. You say Greenland. Greenland had nothing to do with this. How many reports did you see where the Greenlanders wanted to be part of America? And how many reports did you see where the Greenlanders didn't want to have anything to do with America and they can't be here and blah, blah, blah? You don't even know what to believe. So, what I do believe is that they had no say in it whatsoever. And that's a shame. That's what I always thought that we would bring to the Greenland table. Like, oh, well, you get a voice now instead of whatever the Danes think for whatever this patch of land is that means anything to anybody.
So let's play it out, right? Let's play it out. Okay, so here we go. So this is the beginning of the scenario. We're gonna role play a little bit. Ready? Breaking. Donald Trump. Can you believe he's going to get rid of? He's going to take over Greenland like a king. And then they fast forward to some like Eskimo who's sitting there with like one of these things, and he's like, no, we don't want Donald Trump with us because it'd be terrible if this king took over. We don't want this Donald Trump king to take over, right? So anyway, so Donald Trump takes over Greenland. What's going to happen next? Is it just going to be 57,000 Greenland like pushing a wheel like in like, Conan? No,
They're dragging stones to build a pyramid.
Yeah, exactly. They're constructing the dome. They're constructing the iron. This was built
Don
on
Jr.'s
the wall
there with
of
a whip.
Greenlanders. Mush or whatever it is you say. But my point is that we're going to help provide and enrich Greenland. You know,
Yeah.
it's not like we're just going to take a, like, everybody thinks that it's just going to be like all of a sudden these like big, gigantic, like proboscis things are going to hit and then just suck all the lithium out of Greenland, and Greenland's going to, that's not what's going to happen. We're
Yeah.
going to make Greenland better. We're going to make Greenland green again.